What you tell yourself in the morning becomes the lens through which you experience life. From the very first moment you open your eyes, your mind is already listening. It listens to the tone of your thoughts, the energy of your intentions, and the truth or the lies you choose to repeat. That is why your morning words are not just fleeting statements. They are the seeds of your day. They set the rhythm, they define the pace, and they either build the foundation of clarity or the chaos that follows. Most people wake up and immediately connect to the outside world. They grab their phones, scroll through endless notifications, check emails, and flood their minds with noise before they've even heard their own voice. But when you do that, you're not beginning your day with power. You're beginning it in reaction. You're letting the world tell you who you are, what to think, and how to feel before you've had a chance to choose for yourself. That's not living, it's surrendering. Your morning words, however, allow you to reclaim that moment. They're a reset, a declaration of self, a ritual that pulls you back into alignment with who you really are. Speaking to yourself with intention is like calibrating your compass. It may look like something small, just a sentence or two, but what you say in those moments affects how you think, how you walk, how you respond, and how you carry yourself for the next 16 hours. If you wake up and say, "I am strong," even when you don't feel it, your mind begins to search for strength within. If you say, "Today I choose peace," your actions start to reflect that choice in subtle but powerful ways. There's a truth most people miss. Your mind doesn't resist repetition, it obeys it. Whatever you tell yourself consistently, your brain begins to believe. This is why negative self-talk is so destructive. If you wake up every morning and your first thoughts are full of doubt, comparison, self-criticism, or fear, that becomes your operating system. It limits your creativity, your focus, and your ability to take risks. But if you begin your day with words that reinforce your purpose, your worth, and your vision, everything shifts. It's not about lying to yourself or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing what kind of inner world you want to build before the outer world tries to build it for you. When your morning words are strong, intentional, and empowering, they become a shield. They protect you from unnecessary distraction, from emotional reactivity, and from the energy of others that doesn't serve your growth. They help you stay centered even when life becomes unstable. They remind you that you are not a victim of your circumstances, but the creator of your experience. So start each morning with clarity. Speak life into your day. Give yourself words that energize, ground, and awaken your inner strength. Because how you speak to yourself when the sun rises determines how you stand when storms arrive. Your morning words are not just words. They are the architecture of your day. Your mind believes what you repeat. Every thought you entertain, every sentence you say to yourself, every belief you nurture. These are not just harmless whispers. They are instructions. The subconscious mind is always listening, always absorbing, and always learning from what you feed it. It doesn't argue, it doesn't reason like the conscious mind. It simply takes what you tell it over and over and builds reality around it. This is why morning affirmations are far more than feel-good rituals. They are not motivational fluff or empty mantras meant to impress others. They are powerful internal commands. Every word you speak to yourself when the day begins becomes a seed you plant in the soil of your subconscious. And with repetition, those seeds grow into habits, behaviors, and perceptions that guide the way you live. Your subconscious doesn't understand sarcasm. It doesn't differentiate between the truth and the lie, at least not the way your rational mind does. It only understands repetition and emotional charge. If you constantly say, "I'm not good enough," "Nothing ever works out for me," or "I always mess things up," your subconscious will accept those statements as facts. It will look for evidence to support them. It will filter your reality through the lens of those beliefs and shape your responses to life accordingly. On the other hand, if you wake up and tell yourself, "I am capable," "I am calm and in control," or "I have everything I need within me to succeed," your subconscious begins to operate with those beliefs as its foundation. Over time, your actions align with those affirmations. Your focus sharpens, your resilience increases, your confidence deepens, not because the outside world changed, but because your internal dialogue did. Repetition is the language of the subconscious, and morning is the best time to speak it. Why? Because your brain is in a highly receptive state during the first few minutes after waking. The conscious mind is still quiet. The day hasn't cluttered your thoughts yet. It's in this moment of openness that your words carry the most weight. The affirmations you speak early in the morning go deeper. They sink in further. They imprint stronger. Think of your mind like a sponge. What you soak it in becomes its essence. If you soak it in negativity, doubt, and fear, you carry that energy throughout the day. But if you soak it in strength, peace, and clarity, you radiate those qualities naturally. You don't need to force confidence or chase focus. They begin to flow from the inside out. Training your subconscious is like training a muscle. It won't happen with one repetition. But over time, with consistency and clarity, the mind begins to rewire. You begin to notice changes, not just in how you think, but in how you react, how you carry yourself, how you treat others, and how you approach obstacles. Most people wake up not to peace, but to noise. The kind that doesn't come from the outside world, but from within. Before the day even begins, doubt creeps in. Fear whispers quietly. Insecurity makes itself known. It might come in the form of a small thought. I'm not ready. I don't know if I can do this. Or, what if I fail? But left unchecked, those thoughts multiply. They grow louder, more convincing, and before you've even had a chance to take your first conscious breath, the inner critic is already in control. The inner critic is that voice that tells you you're not enough. It questions your every decision, it points out every flaw, it drags your attention toward everything you haven't done rather than everything you've already overcome. The worst part is that it sounds like you. It doesn't come with alarms or flashing warnings. It disguises itself as logic, realism, or self-protection. But in truth, it is fear wearing a mask. And if you don't silence it early, it will run your day for you. That's why what you say to yourself first thing in the morning matters. You don't wait for the critic to speak, you speak first. You beat it to the punch. You speak powerfully, deliberately, and truthfully. This isn't about pretending that fear doesn't exist or denying your insecurities. It's about refusing to let them steer your life. When you start your day by speaking powerful truths, things like, I am grounded, I am capable, I have earned the right to grow, or I will not let fear define me, you are not just saying words. You are building armor. You are setting the emotional tone for your day before the world even has a chance to shape it. The morning is your window of control. In those first few moments, you have a chance to anchor yourself in confidence before life challenges it. If you don't fill that space with strength, your inner critic will fill it with doubt. That voice thrives in silence. It grows stronger when you don't respond. But when you rise with clarity and purpose, when you declare who you are and what you believe in, you shrink that critic's power before it even has a chance to gain momentum. And it's not about feeling strong every day, it's about choosing strength even when you feel uncertain. You can have fear and still speak truth. You can feel anxious and still show up with courage. Speaking to yourself with conviction in the morning is how you rewire your emotional default. It's how you choose self-belief over self-doubt. It's how you train your mind to recognize your worth, even when you're facing something unfamiliar or difficult. So don't let the inner critic write your story. Don't let it be the first voice you hear. Be louder, be clearer, be braver. Wake up with intention and speak truth before fear gets a chance to. Because once you learn to silence the inner critic before it speaks, you no longer walk into your day as a victim of your mind, but as its master. Your words can be your weapon or your wisdom. Every morning you are given a choice to speak in a way that sharpens you or weakens you. And this choice isn't small. It's not just about what you say, it's about how you think, how you feel, and how you act as a result. The words you speak to yourself carry energy. They carry meaning. They can either be tools of destruction or instruments of strength. Think about a warrior. A true warrior doesn't enter the battlefield unprepared. Before every fight, they sharpen their sword, strengthen their stance, and ground themselves in discipline. That sword is their lifeline, their protection, their power. In the same way, your words are your sword. And each morning you either sharpen that sword with clarity, confidence, and purpose, or you let it dull with self-criticism, hesitation, and fear. What you tell yourself in those first moments of the day sets the tone for everything that follows. If you say, I'm not good enough, you move through the day with hesitation. If you say, I always mess things up, you approach challenges expecting to fail. If you say, I don't have what it takes, you never even step into the arena where your potential can be tested. These aren't just thoughts. They're mental weapons turned against yourself. They break you down before life ever has the chance to. But if you flip the script, if you begin your day by saying, I am ready, I can handle what comes, I have what it takes, you start to build yourself. You start to replace fear with focus, doubt with determination. You give yourself a chance to rise instead of retreat. These affirmations aren't magic spells. They are reminders, anchors. They pull you back to your strength, your discipline, your truth. The mind is always listening, and repetition matters. The more often you speak power into yourself, the more naturally it flows. The more often you choose uplifting, focused language, the more your subconscious accepts it as fact. Over time, your words shape your belief system, and your belief system shapes your reality. It's not a matter of pretending everything is perfect. It's about speaking with enough wisdom and clarity that you are prepared when it's not. So, treat your words with care. Use them with intention. When you speak to yourself, ask, am I sharpening my sword or dulling it? Am I preparing myself to face the day with strength, or am I weakening myself before I've even begun? Because the truth is, you will face challenges, you will be tested. But if your mind is armed with wisdom, if your inner dialogue is one of power, not poison, you won't crumble under pressure. You'll rise through it. Every morning is a fresh battlefield, every thought is a swing of the sword, and your words, those quiet inner sentences, are either cutting you down or cutting through the noise. Choose them wisely, speak with intention, because the way you talk to yourself is either your greatest weapon or your deepest wound. You're either a slave to circumstances or a master of mentality. There is no in between. Every morning, the moment you open your eyes, a choice is placed before you. You can take command of your mindset, or you can allow the world to do it for you. And the truth is, the world is loud. It is full of demands, distractions, noise, and negativity. If you don't set your mind with intention first thing in the morning, life will set it for you, and it rarely chooses peace. When you begin your day without direction, you hand over your power before you've even left your bed. You scroll through your phone, check your messages, and let someone else's words define your worth. You compare yourself to filtered lives on social media. You absorb other people's stress, judgments, and expectations, and soon you're not thinking your thoughts anymore. You're reacting to theirs. You become a slave to what's happening around you, pulled in every direction, always behind, never centered. But when you take just a few minutes in the morning to speak power into yourself, everything changes. You don't wait for motivation to find you, you generate it. You don't wait to see how the day unfolds, you declare how you will meet it. Your words become your command center. They remind your mind who is in control. Phrases like, I lead my day, I am calm in the face of chaos, or I choose my response no matter the storm, are more than just sentences. They are mental armor. They protect you from being ruled by outside circumstances. You see, your external world is unpredictable. Traffic, unexpected news, people's attitudes, these things are out of your hands. But your internal world, that's yours to control. And the stronger your mentality, the less power circumstances have over you. It's not that problems disappear, it's that they no longer define your state of mind. You stop reacting blindly and start responding with clarity. Mastery of mentality doesn't come from hoping things go right. It comes from preparing for them to go wrong and still standing strong. And that preparation starts in the morning. When you speak strength into your own mind, you're not being fake or delusional. You're building resilience. You're building the ability to stay grounded when life shakes you. You're reminding yourself that peace is not something the world gives, it's something you create. Each morning, you are given the opportunity to train your mind like a warrior trains their body. Every repetition of a powerful phrase becomes a mental push-up. Over time, you grow stronger, more focused, more anchored in who you are and how you choose to live. And when circumstances try to drag you down, they no longer succeed. Because you've already claimed your position at the top of your own mind. Who's in control today? Me or everything else? And if the answer isn't you, then it's time to shift. Speak with purpose, declare your mindset. because in the battle between chaos and clarity, you win or lose before the day even begins. One morning can change everything. It might sound simple, even unbelievable, but that's only because we've been conditioned to overlook the power of small beginnings. We underestimate the impact a few intentional moments can have. But the truth is, the direction of your entire life can shift in a single morning if you choose to meet it with clarity, strength, and purpose. Mornings are sacred. They are the blank pages of your story before anything else has been written that day. In that stillness, before the noise of the world floods in, you have a rare opportunity to shape your reality. Not with massive actions or grand gestures, but with simple, deliberate choices. The words you speak, the thoughts you choose, the energy you decide to carry. These moments might seem small, but they send ripples into every hour that follows. When you start your day in reaction, rushing, scrolling, complaining, or doubting, you're handing over your control. You're letting life happen to you instead of through you. But when you begin with intention, when you take just a few minutes to ground yourself in truth and power, you shift everything. You're no longer just surviving the day, you're leading it. One morning of self-empowerment can rewire how you see yourself. When you speak words like "I am ready," "I am focused," or "I choose how I show up," you are not just being positive. You're giving your mind a new command. You're telling your subconscious, we're not running on autopilot today. We are awake. We are deliberate. That shift, even if it lasts only a few seconds at first, starts to stack. It compounds, and it leads to better choices, better reactions, better energy throughout the day. And then something beautiful happens. That one morning begins to create momentum. The clarity you felt fuels your conversations. The strength you claimed gives you courage to do things differently. The peace you established helps you stay centered when the unexpected comes. And as those ripples move through your day, they touch other people. They influence how you treat your family, your co-workers, your goals, your challenges. One morning becomes a better day becomes a better week, and before long you look back and realize everything changed. It's easy to chase breakthroughs in the big moments, but the real breakthroughs come in the small ones, the quiet ones, the ones where nobody's watching and you decide to take 5 minutes to speak life into yourself instead of scrolling through someone else's. The moments where you breathe deep, remind yourself of your power, and choose to begin again. You don't need a perfect plan to change your life, you just need a powerful morning. You need to show up once with full presence, full intention, and full ownership of who you are becoming. Do that, and do it consistently, and the path will begin to reveal itself. Every morning, you are gifted a choice, to lead your mind or to let the world lead it for you. In the quiet minutes before the noise begins, you hold the power to shape your emotions, your focus, and ultimately your destiny. What you speak to yourself isn't just conversation, it's construction. You're either building the strongest version of yourself, or you're quietly tearing it down. The difference between a chaotic life and a clear one, a fearful life and a fearless one, isn't found in luck, talent, or circumstance. It's found in what you consistently tell yourself when no one is watching. Your inner dialogue is your foundation, and that foundation is poured every morning. Speak powerfully, and you will act powerfully. Speak with truth, and you will move with certainty. Speak like the person you are becoming, not the one the world tries to limit you to. 12 powerful things, said with heart and intention each morning, can become your anchor. They silence the noise, break the cycle of self-doubt, and realign you with your purpose. This isn't motivation. This is mental training. This is self-leadership. This is the path to mastery. So don't just wake up, rise up. Don't just survive your day, shape it. Because one morning filled with strength, clarity, and conviction is not just the beginning of a good day. It's the beginning of a new life. And that life starts now, with your next word. Choose it with power.